Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Checkered Flag Corner. We just finally finished watching the Cup race from Las Vegas. Let's get into it. But before we do, I know the video is not coming out directly after the race like it normally does. Um, Friday night into Saturday night, we were dealing with a storm system. Here in Western Kentucky, we were one of the areas that was at significant risk of extremely severe weather, including tornadoes. Thankfully, we didn't get any tornadic activity. We thought we were only going to end up getting just some mild thunderstorms. Unfortunately, we were wrong, and we ended up getting a hailstorm along with the thunder, the lightning, the rain, and the wind. So right now, if you drive around my hometown, anywhere with vinyl siding, it looks like it's been shot completely full of bullet holes. There's two of the Kroger stores here in town, their skylights caved in because of all of the hail coming down onto it. Those two stores were closed. I think they're open now. I think they're finally reopened. Um, there's plenty of people that have flooded basements now. There were tree limbs everywhere on a lot of the side streets, but we're already recovering. It wasn't too much damage. I mean, obviously it wasn't a tornado, so it wasn't going to take long to really clean it up. But let's get into it. Enough about me rambling about our problems. Let's get into the racing. Now, a strong start to the weekend for Michael McDowell. He started on the pole for this race, but of course, ultimately would lose the lead early on as the front runners like Joey Logano, Ryan Blaney, and guys like that started coming up through. But Michael McDowell helping Spire look even stronger than ever before. The first caution for incident in this race happened during a cycle of green flag pit stops. As Chase Briscoe in the fish car, I say the fish car, it's a Bass Pro Shops car, but the paint scheme, it was fish scales and it had eyes on the headlights, if you didn't see it. One of the wheels wasn't put on completely, wasn't completely secured in place. Um, Lost the wheel coming out of pit road, and that brought out the caution. And then we turn our attention to the 20 on the next caution. And that's where the strangeness happens. Something happened I didn't think was completely legal, but it apparently is. So, as the 20 is pulling out of his pit stall, Christopher Bell is pulling out of his pit stall. You see the front, it's either the front or the rear tire changer on the left side. Sorry, I had to figure out my left from my right there. You see him kind of fall like he wasn't expecting the car to pull off, and that's because he wasn't. He apparently was not finished putting the wheel on. And essentially, you hear immediately over the radio, stop, 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 stop. We didn't get it on all the way. Pull into the 19's pit. Christopher Bell pulls into the pit stall of the 19 of his teammate, Chase Briscoe's pit stall. He pulls in there, and the 19 pit crew finishes the stop. And they said over the air, when Chase Briscoe had his issue, that we blame the tire changer, but it's really the jack man that's more taking a lot of the blame from the team, because the jack man, when that happens, often he will let the car down prematurely because he has to watch two tire changers to make sure both of them are finished. Sure, it would take a longer stop, but I really don't see why the jack man couldn't just look over. Is he done? Okay, he's done. Is he done? Yes, he's done. And car goes away. I just don't see why that couldn't happen, but that's neither here nor there. I'm not a professional, so I really shouldn't be talking. But the issue for me is we've had these issues with the wheels and the tires on the Gen 7 since day one of the Gen 7 car. So at this point, you really have to ask, and it goes back to the conversation we've been having over the past few weeks, is it a parts issue? Because these parts, they're made by one company, the cars are all spec, it seems like they're having quality control issues more than usual this year. Just saying, it might be time to take another look at the design and the parts of the Gen 7 car. I'm just saying, it needs to be looked at. It needs to be further studied. While we're on the subject of loose wheels, Kyle Busch's day was ruined once again by a loose wheel. Apparently, it wasn't on all the way, it was metal to metal, and it sliced the wheel in half, and it came off as he was coming down the backstretch. He got into the wall. Another another unfortunate heartbreak of a day for Kyle Busch, the 8 team. Just hate to see it. Stage 1 was won by Austin Cindric, the ninth different stage winner this year, which is absolutely insane to me. Stage 2 was won by Kyle Larson, the first repeat stage winner of the year. And I want to talk about paint schemes for a sec because the Backstreet Boys were sponsoring a race car today. They were sponsoring Nemechek over on the 42. So Backstreet's back. Make the joke if you want. Of course, we had the fish car with the eyes. It, Whenever a race car has eyes as part of the paint scheme, it just looks creepy, especially when it's on the headlights. Um, my favorite paint scheme of this race has got to be by far the Sunny D of the 35 car, Riley Herbst. It looks a little bit more unique to him than the ones that we've seen in recent years on other cars for other teams. But now here's where we get to the prelude to the end. Here at the end, there's a lot of cars you wouldn't really expect to be running up front, and it really came down to Daniel Suarez versus Josh Berry. Trackhouse versus the Wood Brothers. Chevrolet versus Ford, tale as old as time. The Wood Brothers won Daytona with Harrison Burton last summer to be put into the playoffs. Their 100th Cup Series win. And today, they were looking for win number 101. Josh Berry looking for his first Cup Series victory. Daniel Suarez was giving the 21 a run for his money. That is obvious. But no matter what angle he took, no matter what he did, he just couldn't complete the pass. The 21 ultimately got away, and that was all she wrote. Josh Berry gets win number 101 for the Wood Brothers and win number 1 on his Cup Series career. Back-to-back seasons, the Wood Brothers have won a race. When was the last time that actually happened? I know it's a little too early to say, but I want to say if this trend continues for the Wood Brothers team, they might finally be in contention for a championship in a couple of years. Which, the oldest active team in NASCAR has never won a Cup Series title, which is, it never fails to blow my mind that that's the case. But the 21 of the Wood Brothers wins today. Incredible race by Josh Berry. He really tried to stay out of trouble as much as he could. One other thing I want to hit on real quick. Denny Hamlin, before the race, went to a casino and won like a $900,000 jackpot, from what I read. And people are saying, "Oh, he won. He won at the casino. He's going to win the race." And I'm like, I don't know if you're joking or if you're serious, but if you're serious, I don't see how gambling moves over to stock car driving. I just don't see it. But if they're joking, haha, funny. Okay. He didn't beat our favorite drivers today. I think that's obvious. I never would have guessed. I never would have guessed that Josh Berry would be the one to break Christopher Bell's win streak, because a lot of people were saying that Christopher Bell was going to win 4 straight, and I'll be honest, I believed it was possible. After his performance at Atlanta, Circuit of the Americas, and Phoenix, 3 straight wins, I thought the way he's performing, he might actually go 4 for 4. But ultimately, the 21 spoils the day of the 20, and we're here now. Homestead, Miami is next week. Our West Coast swing has come to an end. Um, it's going to be a bumpy ride from here on out, so Interesting season so far. We've only had three different winners: Byron, Bell, and Barry, the three Bs. So very interesting. I can't wait to see what happens from here. Homestead Miami is next week. Tune in at about this time next Sunday. I'm hoping the video will be up by then. But until then, we will see you in Victory Lane.